They call it America's Village of the Damned. But honestly, I thought it was just a local legend. Dudleytown. Just the name sounds like something out of a campfire story. I'm Tom, a photographer, and I live for debunking these kinds of myths. So, armed with my camera and a healthy dose of skepticism, I decided to see for myself what all the fuss was about. The locals, they were serious. They told me never to go there, and if I did, to get out before sunset. The woods don't like visitors, one old man warned me, his eyes wide with genuine fear. I just smiled and thanked him for the tip. The journey started normally enough. A long, winding road led to a parking area, and from there, it was a hike into the forest. The first thing I noticed was the old stone wall marking the boundary of what used to be It was low and crumbling, covered in moss. The moment I stepped over it, everything changed. It wasn't a gradual shift, it was instant. The air grew heavy, thick, like the humidity before a thunderstorm, pressing down on my chest and making it hard to breathe. And then there was the silence. It wasn't just quiet, it was an unnatural, absolute void of sound. No birds chirping, no squirrels rustling in the leaves, not even the whisper of wind through the branches. It was a dead silence, the kind that makes your ears ring. I shook it off. It's just an old, dense forest, Grimetta told myself. Animals are probably just steering clear of me. I pulled out my audio recorder, hoping to catch some EVP's electronic voice. Phenomena for the ghost hunting crowd. I followed a path that was barely visible, overgrown with weeds and thorny bushes. The trees here were different. They weren't just old, they felt wrong. Their branches twisted into grotesque shapes, like gnarled, arthritic fingers reaching out for me. The deeper I walked, the more the trees seemed to crowd in, blocking out the sunlight and creating a permanent twilight under the canopy. It felt like the forest was alive, and it was watching me. I decided to stop and take a few photos of the ruins. The foundations of old colonial homes were scattered throughout the woods, just crumbling stone cellars filled with dead leaves and dark water. It was eerie, a ghost of a town that had completely vanished. As I framed a shot of a particularly creepy-looking cellar hole, my phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out, surprised. I hadn't had a single bar of service since I left the main road. The screen lit up with a notification. It wasn't a text or an email. It was just a single line of text on a black background. Don't look back. My blood ran cold. It had to be a prank, a glitch. But who could have sent it? I was completely alone. Against my better judgment, I couldn't help it. I slowly turned around. There was nothing there, just the same silent, oppressive woods. But then I heard it. A whisper. It was faint, like the rustle of leaves, but there was no wind. It sounded like a name. My name. Tom ... Quotes. It came from my right. I spun my head in that direction. Nothing. Then I heard it again, from behind me. Tom ... And then from the left, and then from all around me. Soft, broken, overlapping voices, all whispering my name. It was like being surrounded by a crowd of unseen people. My skepticism was evaporating fast, replaced by a primal fear. I wasn't just in a creepy forest anymore. I was in something's territory. I started walking faster, trying to follow the trail, but the woods were getting more disorienting. The shadows seemed to stretch and move in ways they shouldn't, elongating unnaturally from the trees even though the sun's position hadn't changed. A thick, soupy fog began to roll across the forest floor, clinging to the ground even though the patch of sky I could see above was perfectly clear. This was wrong. This was all wrong. I raised my camera again, needing to document this, to have proof that I wasn't going crazy. I pointed it toward a clearing between two dead, skeletal-looking trees. I looked through the viewfinder, and my heart stopped. For a split second, framed perfectly in my lens, was a figure. It was tall and pale, almost translucent. He'd had no eyes, no nose, no mouth. Just a smooth, hollow, egg-like face, pointed directly at me. I gasped and lowered the camera, blinking hard. When I looked back up with my own eyes, it was gone, vanished. That was it. I was done. No photo was worth this. I turned and ran, my heart hammering against my ribs. I tried to backtrack, to find the trail that led out, but every path looked the same. The trees seemed to have shifted, forming a maze. I'd run down a path that I was sure was the right way, only to end up back at the same creepy cellar ruin I'd seen minutes before. The forest was looping me, trapping me. The whispers grew louder, no longer just my name. They were forming words, sentences. Stay with us, ... A chorus of voices hissed from the shadows. You belong here? Now ... I fumbled in my pack for my high-powered flashlight. The sun was getting low, and the woods were sinking into a deep, impenetrable darkness. I flicked it on, its bright beam cutting through the fog. A moment of relief washed over me, but it was short-lived. The light flickered once, twice, and then died completely. I was plunged into absolute blackness. Panic set in. I couldn't see a thing. Then I heard a new sound. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, deliberate footsteps crushing the dead leaves on the forest floor, right behind me. I froze, too terrified to move. The sound was so close I could almost feel the vibrations through the soles of my shoes. I finally found the courage to spin around, but the moment I did, the footsteps stopped behind me and started again. Now to my left. I snapped my head to the left. The sound immediately shifted to my right. It was playing with me, circling me in the dark. I screamed, a raw, desperate sound that the silent wood swallowed whole. I just picked a direction and ran. I ran blindly, crashing through branches that whipped at my face, stumbling over roots I couldn't see. I don't know how long I ran, but suddenly, I slammed into something hard. It was stone. The old wall. I had found the boundary. I scrambled over it, scraping my hands and knees, not daring to look back. As I threw myself over the top, I felt a freezing cold touch, like fingers made of ice, brushed the back of my neck. I landed in a heap on the other side, gasping for air, my lungs burning. I lay there on the damp ground, safe. Outside the cursed forest, the silence on this side of the wall was different. It was normal. I could hear crickets, the wind. Primera, dadloi. Ese out. After my breathing returned to normal, I shakily got to my feet and stumbled back to my car. It wasn't until I was locked safely inside that I dared to look at my camera. I clicked through the photos, my hands trembling. The first few were just eerie shots of the ruins. But then I got to the pictures I took right before I ran. The first one showed the clearing with the 2 dead trees. Nothing there. In the next shot, taken a second later, the hollow-faced figure was there, standing far in the background. In the next, it was closer. And the next, closer still. I flipped through the last 10 photos in a frantic slideshow. With every single shot, the figure was standing directly behind me, getting nearer and nearer, its featureless face looking right into the lens. In the final picture, it was so close, its pale shoulder was right behind mine. But I never saw it. I never heard it. It was with me the whole time. I escaped Dudley Town, but a part of it followed me home. I thought the nightmare was over, but it's not. Now, almost every night, at exactly 3:11 a.m., my phone buzzes on my nightstand. I don't have to look. I know what it is. A message from an unknown number. The same one every time. You left too soon.